So, but we should talk about the Coriolis force,
Yes.
first of all, okay? It's not really a force. In fact, we officially call it a fictitious force. It feels like you're a force if you're in the middle of experiencing it, but it's not actually a force. Pure and simple. Okay? Okay.
All right.
So, this is what happens if you try to move in a straight line on something that's rotating. Then your path on that rotating object is not a straight line, even though you swear you're moving in a straight line. Okay? So take, for example, a spinning platter. We used to call those record players, okay?
Oh, nice.
You could, so spin it, put it at 33 and a third RPM, put it at 33 and a third RPM, and take a sort of a chalk and start at the edge and make a straight line to the spindle. If you do that and then stop the thing and look at what your chalk line did, it will be this curve from the edge of the platter to the center.
Right.
So if you are on that platter, you would say there's some force pushing this chalk in a direction that's to the side. This is how you would interpret what you saw. And so you would invoke, you'd say there must be a force.
Right.
And in this case, we would call that the Coriolis force. Meanwhile, there's no such force acting on the system. The Coriolis force. Meanwhile, there's no such force acting on the system. So that's what's going on there. So this would happen to anybody trying to do a straight line or any kind of path, on something that's in motion. If you try to do it on a merry-go-round, okay, you could try to walk in a straight line, but it's not going to work.
Right.
Relative to the merry-go-round. So that's all it is.
You'll also look like a drunk person.
Yes.
I've tried it.
You've tried it. But wait, Chuck, it was stationary when you did it. Chuck, it was stationary when you did it. All right. So, perhaps the most common invocation of the Coriolis force is that which forces winds on Earth to curve into storms. Okay, so there's an air moves, okay, on Earth's surface. But Earth's surface is rotating with the solid Earth. And we've done this before. The equator is moving 1,000 miles an hour sideways. And if you're up at northern Florida or DC or in New York, you're moving slower from west to east than the equator is. Yeah, you're all part of the same solid object, yes, but you complete one circle in the same amount of time as folks at the equator do, and they travel a longer distance to do it. So therefore, you must be traveling more slowly. They must be traveling faster than you.
So what speed do I need to do, Neil, to overcome a Coriolis force?
You have
45 instead of 33 and a third.
Oh, well played. I got you.
No, the 78. You don't want the 78. Yeah. So the point is, the storms have so much weather going on in them because all the weather is trying to get to the low pressure system. And the low pressure system is the center of the storm. That's why there's rain at a hurricane. Okay. Oh, and by the way, do you know about in the movie The Martian? Right. That's what,
maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
Well, I'm not going to say something and have you tear me to pieces, am I?
Chuck, that sounds like a no, right? Right? Do you know what's happening? Well, I think I do.
No.
So, and I saw a movie called Marooned. It was a 1960s pre-moon landing movie, but we knew we were headed there, so Hollywood started making movies. So Hollywood started making movies. Oh no. So it's the spaceship is attached to the gantry. It's fine. It's fine, and it's round, so it's not like a balloon. It's not like
a building where it's going to be ripped apart.
Yeah,
it's not like a building where it's going to be ripped apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like an infant going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's it. And so they could have easily just left that boy to die. Anyhow, so here's the point.
And he was a scientist, so you know what he said.
So storms in the southern hemisphere rotate clockwise. Storms in the northern hemisphere rotate counterclockwise. When I say storms, I mean low pressure storms. Gaining speed relative to you on the rotating Earth. Turns out I'm watching a football game. It was like 5:45 on a Sunday, and I finished watching some show. I forgot. No, it was another football game, and I have a show coming on at 6, and I'm channel surfing, and I came upon the Cincinnati Bengals playing somebody. Was it who were the Seattle folk? The Seahawks. I think it was the Seahawks. But it was definitely Cincinnati Bengals. Okay, and right at that time, I tuned in. It was a tie, and the game ended. So they went into a full period overtime. Okay, now you know the rules. I think they've even changed since I last memorized them. But each team gets possession. All right, and if they score a field goal, the other team gets a chance to score a field goal. If nobody scores with each possession, then it's sudden death. Okay. That's the state of this game at the time in the 15 minutes that I watched. So it's sudden death overtime at this point. Cincinnati has the ball. They're at the 50-yard, 45-yard line plus 10 yards or whatever is the hike with the kick. They had to make a 55-yard field goal. And if they make it, it's for the win. If they don't, the game continues. But they could win it on this kick. So I'm watching this, and the kick, it goes up, and it tumbles. This is where no one breathes, okay, in the stadium. Nobody breathes. And you see the ball tumble, and it's tumbling, and there it goes. And it hits the left upright and careens in for the score. And the Cincinnati Bengals win. And I said, wait a minute, hold on. Did the math. I checked the orientation of the stadium. The stadium is oriented north-south. And I said, oh my gosh. The Cincinnati Bengals for the win field goal kick was aided by a 1/3 of an inch deflection to the right.
Yeah.
Caused by the rotation of the earth.
Yeah.
Caused by the rotation of the earth. You know from baseball, if you take a round object and hit it with another round object, all right, a fraction of an inch can make all the difference in how the thing bounces away from it.
Totally.
Right? So you have a round bat hitting a round ball, a cylindrical bat, but it's still round in its cross-section, hits a round ball, a fraction of an inch is a ground out, home run, or pop out. Okay? Same is true with a round football hitting the cylindrical upright. So I think that 1/3 of an inch made a difference, and you can that's how much Coriolis force operated in the 55 yards of the field goal.
Well, the Coriolis owes a lot of people some money. Because, you know, everybody who had money riding on that game.
You're checking the bets.
Yeah, they were just like, how'd we find this Coriolis?
Now, just because I'm an educator, I said the rotation of the earth, but I didn't mention Coriolis. Because if you label it, then people get distracted by the name, and it prevents them from understanding the concept. So I said from the rotation of the earth. Well, how does that happen? The next 2 tweets, I said this is like the Coriolis force, and then I mentioned storms and this sort of thing. So now for all north-south oriented stadiums, I watch for this when that happens. So the Coriolis effect. I didn't mention who the dude was who first came up with it. Okay, let me check my notes here, get his whole name right. Gaspard Gustave Coriolis.
Oh, yeah, he's totally fictitious.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Nobody would have that name in real life.
Well, only his force is a fictitious force. That's all. Not him. Well, only his force is a fictitious force. That's all. Not him. All right. He published a paper in 1835 with this analysis. So this is still relatively modern, last couple of hundred years.
Yeah.
The understanding of this, given how long we've been thinking about the natural world. So anyhow, that's it for this installment of Explainers. Neil deGrasse Tyson here.
Hey, this is Cory Booker.
And Mark Kelly.
Neil deGrasse Tyson here.
We have real challenges, and democracy is in the balance, and that's why we need you to engage and be involved. Mark Kelly, the senator from Arizona, his seat is up, and they are targeting him with dark money and every other thing they can throw at this election. That's why we need your help.
I'm going to have a tough race, and I need everybody to be on board. So if you can click the link and support my campaign, that's going to go a long way for us to protect democracy, to lower the cost of prescription drugs, to improve our education system, to beat COVID-19. So please, thank you. Thank you for your support.
We're really, really grateful. Be a part of this fight. Be a part of this effort. Thank you.
Keep looking up.
Oh.